Hey friends, this is Michaela. Welcome back to another episode of I Deserve It. And if you're listening to this on the premiere day, then happy Halloween. I am actually taking my kids trick-or-treating tonight, and we're super excited about it. We had such a hard time with costumes, and we actually went to Spirit Halloween to buy them, and it was like 80 freaking dollars just for two costumes. So we're like, you know what? We'll take them home. We'll go look at Walmart and see if they have something else. And then if they do, we'll just take these back. The lady's like, yeah, you have this many days to return it. I'm like, cool, whatever. So then we did find different ones at Walmart and for half the cost, right? And they were still good. So I go to take the costumes back and they're like, oh, sorry, actually, we stopped doing returns on the 21st. I'm like, well, I bought these on the 22nd and you said I had till the 27th. She's like, no, it's exchange only. And oh my God, I was so pissed. So now we had two costumes each for them and we were just like, what do we do? So we ended up trading the other ones in and getting some for us. So I'll have pictures up on my Instagram if you guys want to check it out. But anyway, little life update real quick. I actually passed my real estate exam. So I am now a licensed real estate agent in Hawaii. Hooray. And that's so freaking exciting. So I'm really pumped about it. I'm so excited to start this new journey, and I hope you guys can watch me do it and feel inspired in some way because motivation. But I was going somewhere else with that. Oh, so in regards to stuff that does pertain to you guys, I actually just did an influencer campaign with Good American, which is a clothing line by Khloe Kardashian that is all inclusive. They literally have sizes 0 to, I don't know, 28 or something. I can't remember off the top of my head, but so amazing. I got this bodysuit and these 4 sizes in one pair of jeans, and they are freaking amazing. And I'm super obsessed. So the day that I got them in the mail and put them on, I was in love, and I went to make the TikTok video or whatever, and then I saw that they were having their casting open. So every year they choose new models to model their clothes for them for the year, and they always choose out of influencers. So I am actually applying for that. I mean, I already did. And so it would mean so much if you guys could go support my TikTok video, and I'll post the link in the description. Obviously, that's not what you're here for, but it is pro body positivity, and the whole reason that I wanted to do the campaign in the first place was really just for the women that have followed me on my journey and have seen me at my lowest, and when I wasn't showering or brushing my hair and still in that really abusive relationship, in comparison to now with all of the stuff that I'm doing. Just be really amazing for everyone to see that your life can change, and even if you feel stuck, it doesn't mean that that is where you're bound to, because I literally felt like my life would never be any different, and obviously it is completely different. So just regardless of how you feel about your body, or thinking that you're not perfect, or that you aren't worthy of a good relationship, or whatever it may be, it's not the case. So I know that for me, I've always just been really insecure with my body, and it's amazing the change that will come to your entire life once you just get into a position to love the skin that you're in and feel confident in your body. So, I mean, even being the same size as before, I just feel this intense amount of confidence, and it has made me do all of these life-changing things and start these businesses and start my podcast and everything. And you don't think that that can affect your life, but it really does. So it is so important to feel really good about yourself. But anyway, And then one more update. So, in 2 weeks, I will be premiering part one of the sexual wellness episode with Chelsea, and I'm so excited about it. So, stay tuned for that. And yeah, I think that's all of the updates. So, for today's episode, I have professional organizer Beth Spiroff on the show, and she has agreed to join me and talk about her organizing business and the effects that organizing can have on your life. And this one is so exciting for me because if you guys know me, I'm like an obsessive organizer, and honestly, the amount of impact it has made on my mental health is insane. So, even when things were like really bad, I would just go organize something and I would feel so much better. But it really just helps my household run so much better. And it just, that reduces so much stress, you know? Like my kids have like cube shelves in their bedroom for organizing their toys, and like every cube is a different like category. So they have like cars, they have like their fake food, like they're little character people, whatever, and it's all organized. So when I tell them to clean up, like everything has a home. We don't have to worry about things getting lost or being a mess, and it just has reduced my stress so much. Really hope that you guys will enjoy this interview and love what Beth has to offer. And yeah, I'm super excited about it. So I hope you guys enjoy. Welcome to the show, Beth. If you wouldn't mind, I would love for you to introduce yourself to my listeners. That way they can get a good sense of who you are and what it is that you do.
Hello, my name is Beth Spiroff, and I'm a professional organizer from Northville, Michigan. I have been organizing locally for 5 years, coming up on 5 years in January. And I'm also a business coach for organizing, and I've been doing that for about 4 years.
Perfect. I was really excited to have you on my show because I am like an obsessive organizer.
Thank
I
you.
don't do it as a career, obviously, but it's really inspiring to see what you do and how many women that you have that just like have joined you. So I think I found you because I was looking for like home edit, like Facebook groups to join for
Yes,
just like
correct.
different tips and stuff. Yeah. And then I
Mhm.
found your group, and
Yes.
it's been pretty amazing. What made you get into it?
I really fell into this. It was really kind of just dumb luck. We had moved home from overseas in 2017, at our dream house in Northville, Michigan, and we had a ton of work to do on it. Not so much design work or painting or things like that, but just getting our stuff out of storage from Novi and then getting stuff overseas from Dubai. Everything, all the trucks came up at once, and 4,500 square foot house and a lot of furniture that didn't match. Furniture from the early 2000s, stuff we had to donate, purge, kind of make work with the rest of the house. So it took us about 4 months to get the house done.
Wow.
Yeah, big job. And I didn't even know what professional organizing was. I kind of just did it on my own. And then I started researching like, what was that I just did? Is this a thing? And could I help other people do it? And that was a yes. And I started my business January of 2018.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
I feel like I'd always kind of had like a knack for it, you know, and then
Mhm.
it was like the TV show came out and I was just like, oh my God, like these are my people.
Yes. Yeah. I feel
And
the same way. When I saw that show, it was like, oh my goodness, these guys are doing it on such a big scale out of Nashville. And they are just crushing it. And with their TV show and book and magazines, it's incredible. Yeah, it's great.
and I immediately had to like buy the books every time one came out and like
Yep.
buy the magazine. And I I really just wanted to kind of like tell my listeners why it was so important for me to have you on the show. But for me, like with everything that I've been through,
Hmm.
I feel like the organizing part of my life is the only thing that's really consistent, you know, no
Right.
matter where I go. And so being in like the abusive relationship I was in, it was just the one thing I could do that would like really calm me down and just like make me get out of my head for a little bit. And it's so stress relieving, and it just makes me feel like so much more like at peace, like I can kind of like relax. Do you think that organizing, like, it's fun for you, but does it do anything for you like mentally?
It does a little bit. I love going into a room and trying to figure out what to do and where to put things and what to get rid of. So it's kind of like a problem solving thing for me. But I know so many of my clients and people that work for me, they get kind of a little bit of a rush or a really deep sense of satisfaction when they're done. They can kind of breathe, they get rid of all that kind of mental clutter and physical clutter, which is really kind of combined. Because I think that sometimes physical clutter is a manifestation of your thinking and your thought process. And it's kind of like delayed decisions, like, oh, I don't want to deal with it right now. And I don't want to deal with the stuff in my life right now. So I'm just going to let it all go. So I think that people, when they start to kind of clean up their room and their house and their life, it's kind of all at the same time. And clutter can really be very kind of detrimental to your mental health. It just kind of builds up and makes you feel bad and feel stressed. So I've noticed a lot of correlation between physical clutter and mental well-being.
I was just talking to someone else about this yesterday, ironically. When I moved to Hawaii,
Hmm.
it's really expensive to be able to ship all of your things overseas. I mean, obviously,
Yes.
you would know that. And so it just came down to what is really important to me and what can I not live without. And
Right.
so I took a couple of totes to my mom's house of like sentimental things,
Hmm.
and I shipped maybe 10 flat rate boxes here. But other than that, I came with 3 suitcases, and I made a Facebook group and sold everything in my house.
Awesome.
And it was really scary at first because, I've had some of this stuff all my life. And it's like, I haven't even worn that jacket in like 10 years, but like, what if I want
Yeah.
to wear it? I'm one of those people.
So hard.
And it was so nice to just be able to get rid of everything. Like such a
Yes.
weight was lifted off of my shoulders, and I'm just like everyone at one point should just like purge everything that has
Hmm.
no like value to them. And like it has made me feel so much better. And so coming here, my organizing has become a much bigger part of my life because I got to start with just like new things. Like this is my new life, and this is how like I want to do it. And so that's been like really amazing for me.
Great, great. Kind of like you're starting a fresh slate and you've got a fresh place to live and a fresh environment. That's great because like all
Absolutely.
that old stuff is kind of gone and now you can start your new life, really. It's great.
And I think people don't realize that like your belongings can like hold memories with them, and like the same way of like hearing a song, it reminds you of a certain time in your life. So holding
Right.
on to items that you have obtained and like a rougher part of your life is going to like still bring you memories whether you think it or not.
Right.
And so I think that was like a really cool part for me. But for you, like you do this full time now then? Yes.
I do it part time. So the coaching is part time and the organizing is part time. And then I have a local team that helps me on big jobs. So
Oh,
I'm
that's
working anywhere
amazing.
from, thanks. I'm working 10 to 15 hours a week in homes, sometimes less, sometimes more, depends on the week or the month. And then I have other girls that can come on a job with me, or they can go solo, or maybe I send two girls on a job. They go as a team. So I can really mix and match and slot people in when I have a certain job that's perfect for this one girl or this other girl, and I just send them to their jobs. So that's really nice for flexibility. And that leaves me time for marketing, making connections locally, playing tennis, being with my family, all the other stuff I love to do. So it's really a good balance for someone who's interested in a very part-time job of making really good money, and it's very enjoyable. I'm not getting burnt out because I am only working the 10 to 15 hours a week. So that's nice. And then the coaching takes up a few hours a week, and it's just a really nice balance in general.
Very cool. I try to tell my listeners, I did a whole episode on like motivation. I'm not sure if you like heard it, but
Mhm.
really, I think my life has changed so much, and like career wise as well, that I
Yep.
just really think that if people have an idea, they should just like really roll with it and really go with it, because the potential to be able to spend more time at home and like with your family is such a big deal now. And I was just talking to someone else about this, but like the whole COVID thing spiked a work from home rate. And so people just got used to being able to spend more time with their families. And so I think like going back to like an office is really hard. And there's so many different like opportunities out there for people to be able to just like be with their families more. And it's a lot of things that people wouldn't think of, like the most common things people are going to think like working from home, are probably like MLMs or things like that. And I started an Etsy shop, but you have like a full business, like doing services for people. And like you started that yourself. And so, when you started your business, like what spiked you to want to do it as like a career?
Good question. When we moved home, I couldn't really work when we were overseas for those 14 years, so I thought I wanted to do something. My daughter was going into high school, and I thought, well, I want to play tennis and I want to do something part-time that I really, really like, that I really enjoy. And I've always been kind of a neat freak. I've always been really organized, and it just ticked all the boxes. And once I found out it was a thing, I was like, oh my gosh, this could be it. So, didn't take me long to start getting jobs, to start, with Facebook and Instagram and a website. And the organizing part probably started to explode like 2019. And then 2020 with COVID is when the coaching exploded because we were all locked in our houses. So we all got online and started doing Zoom calls because we didn't have anything else to do. And we wanted to train for when we were out of our, homes, that we could go back to our clients and really just build our business. So the timing really COVID kind of helped my coaching business. And then after, when we got back out into homes in June of 2020, then the organizing side exploded again. So now they're both kind of working, and they're both doing great, really. And people with the home edit, people are becoming more and more aware of home organization, clutter, and trying to minimalize things a little bit because you can get really weighed down by a lot of stuff.
Absolutely. Would you say that there is, I'm trying to think of like the right words, is that there's starting to be more of a demand for organizers, but do you think
Correct.
that it is undersaturated? Like, do you feel like there are not as many like organization businesses as like the market needs?
Correct. There, it's very underrepresented right now. I think I did a quick Google search, and I was looking at the number of realtors in the US, and I want to say it's like 1.3 million people. And the organizers, the documents I saw and some of the articles I found were about maybe 40 or 45,000 professional organizers in the country, in the US, which is such a small number. So it's very unsaturated. I coach a lot of women who are pretty successful within a few weeks. They really start getting their feet wet, they get jobs, they get their social media up, and they're busy. So it's very easy to start and low cost to start. And it seems to take off pretty quickly for a lot of people, like 60, 70%. It doesn't take long at all, depending on your city and your situation. If you've got 5 kids under 5, you might not have time to do the organizing and the marketing part. But if you have time to build a business and time to reach out to people and find those people, you can be successful.
I know, like in Hawaii, there's not a lot. And when I first moved here, it was something I had looked into doing. And so, I created this whole like business plan and everything, and was trying to like look for competitors to see how to like price my things. And I'm like, well, there's like none, there was like three.
Correct.
And so, yeah, it was pretty interesting. I was just really surprised. But so for the people that you're like coaching, are a lot of them like, how did their experience levels like range? I mean, as far as like, do they feel like they have all of the qualities to do like organizing, or are they just like, I really like this but I haven't really like done it? I guess kind of like, what is their like experience levels?
Yeah, a lot of them are very, very good organizers. That's kind of like question number one. Are you organized in your life? Can you organize other people's stuff? That's pretty much a yes. Most of them need help with pricing and quoting jobs. and the business side. So, do I want an LLC? Do I want a sole proprietorship? What do I do about taxes? Do I need a business bank account? Stuff like that. So, I will kind of guide them and direct them in those. And then we talk a lot about marketing, how to get your name out there and network with people. And then, doing all those things at the same time. And then you will start to get leads and start to get jobs. So, I kind of just give them a framework for what they need to be doing and kind of like a calendar on how to do it within like my little 5 week course that I have. And they pretty much, if the ones that take my advice and do all their coaching calls do very well, the ones that, some people procrastinate, some people don't get very far, some people don't, they're busy, they're trying, or, their father's ill or their kids are, they've got a kid who just had a car accident. I mean, life happens, so they don't get off the ground. But the women that really do utilize me as a resource and the paid group do very well. And the ones that, tell me how they're doing and keep track of everything and also get to know the other girls in the group, they do very well. I also do retreats. So I do mini retreats at my house. It's usually on a Saturday, and all my local girls come over and we talk about pricing and marketing and how to do tricky spaces and everything involved in our business. But I also do luxury kind of destination retreats. And we just got back from Lake Norman, North Carolina, where we rented a big house for 3 days and we did tons of training, and it was amazing. So I've done 3 of those big retreats. And that is a great investment for the women that are really wanting to either start or take it to the next level, because it's 3 days of really intense but fun training and just getting to meet other people. How do you do your pricing? How do you do your consults? How can I tweak this maybe for my area? Or how can I target this kind of a client? And then we talk about everything. And the women that go to those retreats do very, very well in their business.
The pictures looked amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, I try to pick a nice warm spot. We try to get a pool or a lake or something, and we go out to dinner and we swim and we have a great time. Great time.
That is so nice because, a lot of people that want to start businesses from home, they don't have resources like that. And so it's like they're
Right.
still starting their own business, but they have this whole community of women to be able to support and help each other. And I just think that that is
Right.
like the most amazing thing ever.
Yep. And with some of my groups too, a lot of people are like, "Oh, your group is so friendly and so helpful." And I kind of feel like I'm an entrepreneur and I'm kind of lonely and secluded, but I kind of feel like when I want to take a little break that I have coworkers. So I think that's really cool because everybody supports everybody. So it's really nice, and people don't feel like they're so alone in their business. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And you and your sister have a Facebook group that's just for like women.
Yes, I do. We have a women's lifestyle group. It's just kind of getting off the ground. And that we kind of talk about. My sister and I are kind of into health and beauty and like friendship, relationships. So we talk about everything, all different types of topics. So that's fun.
Well, I'll definitely link that in my show notes so that people can check it
Yeah.
out. But I just thought that was just like a really fun idea. And there's so many groups online, which just side note, but groups are just like my favorite thing because there is literally a group for everything. And I love
There
that.
is.
But
Yes.
it's just, here's a bunch of women and we are just going to talk about things in our daily lives. And like, that's it. There's no like sole purpose behind it. You can come and
Mhm.
go as you please, and I just like that there is a community like that out there. And I'm sure that there is more, but that is one that I'm involved in. And I think it's really cool. But as far as like, you have all of your coaching students and everything, do you guys do any kind of like virtual, what is that, like virtual consultations for maybe people that are like out of state or not local and maybe they want your advice on how to organize their own homes, but they don't necessarily want to have someone come in and do it?
Correct. I have done some virtual. I did a lot in 2020 and 2021. I was working with a lady in Texas and a lady in Florida. And, back then, people were kind of locked up. People were a little bit more nervous to get out. So they hired me virtually. I also do travel organizing where someone will fly me to their home and we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4 days of work. I've done that a couple times. But really, with the internet and with Zoom and with all these things that we have electronically, Yeah, we can do anything. We can train, we can teach people over the internet, and it's just like I'm there in the room. So it's really amazing that we can do these kind of things in 2022.
I love technology.
It's amazing. Yes.
But it's always nice to be able to have like someone come into your house. But I know, like, for me, like, I want to be able to just like know how to do everything, and that's probably a
Mhm.
huge, like, maybe a pro and a con for me, because I want to take on like way too many things. But I
Right,
just enjoy
right.
like learning to do something new, and I want to like know how to do something. So it's just
Right.
like, yes, I want to organize my kitchen, but I want you to tell me how to do it. So this is something that I
Oh
can do.
yeah.
But
Yep, we can do that too with my clients. I will show them how to do certain things. I'll show them how to fold towels and how to fold their clothes so they can maintain it. So that's really important as well.
And it's just like the littlest things like that. And I think a lot of people think that, my house isn't big enough, or I don't need an organizer to come into my house. But I feel like this benefits everyone. And so I think even like living in a small apartment, it's just like learning to maximize your space. And I think that everyone could
Right.
benefit from like the services that you offer.
For sure. I have people in apartment complexes. I have people in assisted living who've got small spaces and they might have some physical challenges. So I was working with this one lady and I would go every week or two, and now she's kind of on a maintenance program. But I mean, anybody can use these types of services. Young, old, someone who lives in a small apartment or a small home or a $2 million house. I mean, everybody can use these types of tips and tricks, and can kind of see their space in a different light. You know what I mean? A second pair of eyes.
I think that it's funny because, our pantry, everything's like labeled and really nice, obviously. And my boyfriend is just like, this is so wild that you buy stuff and then you just put it in another container. But now he's just like, he'll come home from the store and he will put the stuff in the containers. And he's like, I just
Good.
love it like this. It's so easy to find. And like our spice store is like alphabetized, but because all the labels are like really nice. And it's
Yep.
just interesting that there are so many people that are like, that's excessive, that's too much. But once it becomes a part of your daily life, they're like, wow, this is really nice and I do enjoy this. Like, it just makes everything so much like smoother, and it makes me enjoy being in the kitchen more.
Right. It does. It makes everything simpler and it kind of has a structure. So, and with the labels, even when it's not when it's not you, your kids and your husband or your boyfriend, they can find out where stuff goes too. So it helps everybody in the house. It's great.
We recently just bought the kids like a really big cube shelf. It has like 12 of the cubes in it, and we bought different color ones to go in it. And they have all of their toys organized, so like all of their little character people, their cars, their train sets, whatever, and everything's in a different cube. And so every night before bed, we're like, okay, you have to clean up. And it is just so amazing to watch because they know where everything goes, and so they can always find things. And I'm like, I don't
Mhm.
know any other kids that are like that. And my mother-in-law was like, I really want to get them a toy box. And I'm like, no, like, not one toy box. Like, we just can't do that. And so we sent her the cube shelves, and she's like, that's not for kids. And I'm like, no, it is. Like, they need to have it organized. And they love it. The kids love that they can
Good.
just pull out a cube and be like, okay, I'm going to play with Mr. Potato Head, and all the pieces are in here. And because the cubes are all colored and everything, they know that the striped one has like all of their little mini figures in it. And it's just really cool because, we're like, okay, two cubes at a time, that's all you can play with. And so, like, things don't get super messy. Like, they know where it goes. And then I feel like if other kids were to come over, it's very obvious, like, what goes where, because everything is like grouped together.
Right. Yeah. With kids, that's great. Kind of teaching them young how to kind of structure stuff. And those cubbies are great. And everything you're doing is awesome because you're teaching them very slowly how to kind of organize their stuff and not to pull it all out at the same time. That is great. Love it.
It's amazing. And, my son, he just turned 3, my daughter's 4. And so I'm like, they're really young. And for them, they just have this idea where everything goes. So at no point in time do I have to monitor them and say, okay, like, clean up. That doesn't go there. That doesn't go there. Like, they just know. And I'm like, oh my God, like, what a relief that is. Because a year ago, it would not have been like that. Everything was just a mess in a box. And they're like, I don't know what to do with this. And now we don't have that problem.
Yeah, great. Yeah, to get your boyfriend and your kids on board, the house is just going to run much more smoothly.
And so for you, like I know all of this has been such like business talk, but a little bit you said that you play tennis, spend more time with like your family.
Yeah, I love to play tennis. When I moved home in 2017, I got on a couple tennis teams right away and joined the local club. And then it was great to have the organizing kind of balance it out because I could get really obsessed with tennis or I could get really obsessed with organizing. But I have the things that balance me out. My daughter is a sophomore at Western Michigan and she's at school. So it's me and my husband and my two cats. And I'm obsessed with my cats and they are like my babies. They're a lot of fun. And we like to travel and we like sports a lot, Michigan State football and NFL and all the sports we love. My husband loves hockey. He likes to hunt and fish, and we have a house up north. So just a lot of being outside and kind of enjoying Michigan weather when it's nice. The fall and the summer are beautiful. He loves the winter too. He likes to go hunting in the winter. But yeah, just enjoying the empty nest with the cats and my husband is kind of our mode of operation right now. And we just saw my daughter for homecoming this weekend at Western, and she'll be home for Thanksgiving. So yeah, just enjoying Northville, Michigan. It's beautiful here right now with the colors. The red and orange trees are gorgeous. So kind of preparing for winter because winter gets cold.
Yeah. Where
But
is Northville in Michigan?
Northville's about 30 miles outside of Detroit on the way to Ann Arbor. So it's a little bit west of Detroit, northwest. And 2.5 million people in the metro area, lots of people to help with organizing, moving, packing, unpacking, and staging. So, yeah, business is booming. No complaints. It's just a really nice area to work in. Yeah, things are going great.
Yeah. So I'm actually from northern Indiana, originally
Wow.
from the South Bend area.
Okay, not far at all. Wow.
Yeah, and so I'm like, yeah, Michigan is such a beautiful place. And I grew up like right on a lake, so like
Hmm.
winters where I'm from are just like insane. But
Yep.
so being here is crazy because my last winter was 2020. And I don't miss the snow like at all because
Yep.
just not a snow person. But I do
What
miss
about the
fall.
fall? You miss the fall a little bit? Yeah, the
I miss
colors.
I miss fall so much. And we actually went on like a little mini hike the other day through this like park and there were some like orange and yellow leaves and I was like, "Oh my God, it's fall right there." Like,
Mhm. Cool. That's
oh my
great.
gosh. But our air conditioning is broken and so we have the windows open, but it's been like high 80s every day and it has been broken for almost 3 months now.
Oh, no.
And yeah, it's been awful. And they're just like waiting on all these parts to come in and it's just been like terrible. And all I can think is if I was at home, like I wouldn't have this problem right now.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. But so I would really like to link all of your business information like in the show
Sure.
notes. I think a lot of my listeners would really benefit from maybe not even like using your services, but just like learning a little bit more about it. Maybe some of them might be interested in like the coaching program. So if you want to give like a little bit of information about where they can find you, how your coaching program
Sure.
works, things like that, and then I can provide them all the information to find you.
Sounds good. My website is bethspiroffproorganizing.com. I'm on Instagram. I think it's the same name. And then my free organizing group on Facebook is called Jumpstart to Become a Professional Organizer. So you can find me any of those ways. I've got lots of tips and tricks, job photos, all kinds of things on all those accounts.
Perfect. And then if someone was interested in
Mhm.
like the coaching process, like how would that work for them?
Yeah, what it is, my current course is a mini course. It's a self paced course. And what you get is training videos, documents, a 20-page ebook, a paid group for questions and support. And then you get coaching calls with me, one on one calls. And that is running right now. And you can get more details on my website.
And then just for something fun, what are 3 words that you would use to describe yourself?
Oh, good question. I would say energetic because I don't really like to sit still too much. Like I love to watch a good Netflix movie or something. But if I don't have something like either tennis or organizing to do in the day, I get a little bored. So I'd say energetic. I would say honest. I'm really honest when people say, what do you think about this or what do you think about that? And the third one I would say is loyal. Like I'm really loyal to my family and my friends. And if you're one of my good friends and you need help, I'm going to be there to help you. So, and I think I'm like that with my coaching clients too, because when someone says, Beth, I need your help, I'm right there. So I think a lot of coaching programs kind of have all the nuts and bolts, but they don't have that support. Like you can't even get a hold of somebody for, any kind of assistance or training after you purchase something. So for me, I'm always available on Messenger. If you have a question, just message me and you're in my program and I'll get right back to you. So I really try to be supportive and answer everybody's questions when they're in the thick of it.
Absolutely. And I think that is so important. I know
Thank
that we don't know each other like really well, obviously, because we've just been like Facebook friends, but
Yes.
just like the things that I see and the way that people like interact with you, like it's very obvious that like you're just really good at what you do. So
Thank
I love that.
you so much. I think you are too. I love your podcast and I love all the stuff that you're doing too. I think it's great, the supportive stuff.
Yeah,
Awesome.
absolutely. Thank you.
You're
And
welcome.
I just passed my real estate test finally. So
I saw. Congrats. That's huge. Oh my goodness. Must be so excited.
oh my gosh, I am not excited for all the fees, but I'm very excited.
Yep. That's like one more stepping stone. That's great for your future. I love it. I love
Yeah.
it.
Well, thank you so much for coming on my show. I'm really
Thank
excited
you.
to share this with everyone. I hope that they loved it, and I hope that it brings you a few more people into your group, and
Thank you so
maybe
much.
people can learn your ways.
Yeah, thank you. Really nice to talk to you.
All right, guys, that was Beth Spiroff. I will have all of the links we mentioned in the description. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you guys in 2 weeks.